I gotta say though about that is that in terms of stunt casting, you gotta get a relatively big name actor rather than giving it to a regular voice actor who can do just as good, if not better. I'm not really always for it, but when it works, like sometimes, like in the Disney movies or the Disney dubs of the Ghibli movies, it kind of works.
Depending on which one.
Depending on which one. But with Tron Uprising, I have yet to come across a stunt cast character or voice actor that hasn't like hit that mark.
Oh yeah, no, I mean their casting has been incredibly good in this, and Paul Rubens is in there somewhere, and I haven't figured out who he is yet because I haven't heard the classic. I'm waiting for the Pee Wee laugh. If the Pee Wee laugh shows up, I'll be like, "There he is! Found you, you bastard!"
It's gonna happen eventually.
But anyway.
I'm still waiting for Daft Punk to make an appearance in there.
I don't think they will.
You don't think so?
They're not doing the music. I mean, the music is inspired by the thing.
The person who's actually composing the music for the series is the person that collaborated with Daft Punk for the Legacy soundtrack.
Right.
So that's why it sounds so in sync
similar
with it.
Right.
That's why I believe there's a possibility in the future, maybe in the finals, one of the final episodes, that Daft Punk will show up in a cartoon form. Which means there'll be more figures out there and more posters and more stuff, and I'll be just going broke.
I'll be looking at another figure that I don't want to spend $80 for, but God, I want it. Yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't checked out Tron Legacy yet, do. Very, very. It's completely worth it. The writing is good. Unfortunately it suffers from the classic. Oh wait, almost nobody dies, but at the same time that's not true because
in the first episode,
in the second episode,
yeah, true.
So they're not afraid to kill characters. They're afraid to kill main characters, but they're not afraid to kill characters. But they don't do it gratuitously.
Okay,
it's not salt shakers everywhere.
True,
and I'm sorry, that's what it looks like.
It really does.
Giant little salt crystals going.
Well,
how are we going to de-res everybody? I don't know. Grab a salt table shaker. Oh crap! My fries. Hey, wait a minute. That's a really cool effect. Let's do that.
I think that's just a limitation of the CG software they're using. It's nowhere near as precise as you got from Legacy. That'd be almost insanely expensive. Yeah. But at that time, though, you look at it, and it still has this nice, stylized look to it.
You're talking about the original or the cartoon?
The cartoon.
Right.
A nice stylized look to it, but it's nowhere near as detailed as Legacy.
Oh, right.
So I'm sure they had to cut somewhere. If they try to have them de-res the same way they did in Legacy, my God, the budget must be 3 times as big.
I think it's just longer render times. I think it's just like, okay, we're going to divide the parametric. I think they could do it.
All right.
But still, I mean, it's the fact that they don't kill everybody actually. It's not so much Disney going we must be good for the little kiddies. It's not so much the thing. It's I don't know where the fuck that came from. But I think what it is they're basically also at the same time going, okay, the bad guys kill people.
Right.
The good guys don't. Because if you'll notice in the series, everyone who's died has been a good guy, a quote good guy.
Can I stop you for a second? When you keep on hitting that, it actually shakes the camera.
Sorry.
It's an earthquake like it was 2 days ago. That was a weak 4.0.
It was a weak 4.0.
My roommate freaked. That was funny.
It was so weak I wasn't even here. So anyway, so yeah, it's a great series. Check it out. And I'm done nerding. Brought to you by Disney. Thanks, Merc. Because I was going to talk about the Cars Land preview, but now you don't get to see it. Nah.
Disney, give us money. No, they won't.
Not going to happen.
I came across an article to jump tracks now. That there's always these major companies who have tons of money and therefore they can get ILM or their own digital production companies to help them out. There's a lot of the independent budget movies that can't do that, and obviously to try to make a full-length animated feature, that's nigh impossible.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yes. It's right there on the screen.
Oh, so it is.
Yes, it is.
Opposable thumb makes for better gaming. Yeah, I think it does. Oh wait, you're talking about the actual article.
Oh, fun. There's actually a production company in Britain, and they're very small, but they have a budget of about, I think, was it 15 million pounds? So about just a little under $19 million US, which is really small for a US budget for a movie. But in Europe,
especially for an animated
one, in Europe, it's considered a decent size. But then again, we're talking a full animated movie. It's still going to be kind of on the cheap side. They decided we're going to find something out there that already works. already has a full animation, that I can manipulate to whatever I want it to do.
Mm-hmm. So what did they pick?
They picked Valve's Source Engine. Now, here's the thing about that. I'm blown away by what Valve has done. Mm-hmm. With the exception of the fact they can't figure out a game that ends with 3. But
or even an episode.
Oh,
we're still waiting on episode 3.
We're still on episode 3. So anything with a 3 in it,
they can't do.
Just like there's not going to be a Portal 3. There's going to be a Portal
2.5.
2.5 or 2
it's going to
chapter
jump to
1.
4.
Portal 4, the search for 3. No.
Ooh, hey now. Fell down a hole.
But I got to wonder, they have amazing graphics for a game. I'm wondering how that would transfer over to a full-length movie. We're talking basically machinima here.
Well, you're right. You're talking giant machinima. I mean, it's been done, but you can have good stories with machinima. Case in point, Red versus Blue.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna fire that up, aren't you?
I'm gonna pick a scene.
You're gonna pick a scene. Okay. You can do stuff like they did with Red versus Blue, and other stuff with in-game thing. But the problem is, the only potential issue I'm seeing is you're not doing it at film spec.
Right.
So doing it in a game engine at 4K spec, which is film resolution, number one, you're going to need a monstrously beefy computer to do it. And they're talking about distroing this thing over Steam, which means they may actually just go for 1080. Or make it scalable.
Although I do like the fact that at Steam you can now buy and rent movies from there. Now there's only just one on there right now, and it's an independent film. But the fact that a company is out there that has a game distribution engine, and they're going to do it to sell other media, aside from what the consoles do, but that's just grabbing other companies' media and
like
streaming,
Netflix
like an app and whatnot.
Right.
This is actually, we put it on our servers, and you can buy or rent it and go out there. I kind of like that.
I do, but I don't know. Steam's a little late in the game for that. I mean, other companies...
Okay, Steam is a little late in the game, but still, I'll take Steam any day over the week over Origin.
Okay.
We're
speaking of abominations, yeah. But using Valve Source Engine at film resolutions, I'm a little wary of. Mm-hmm. But of the engines that are out there, okay, the current, and I have to specify this because I've seen the new one, the current Unreal Engine, I don't think will work because here's a rant waiting to happen. The current Unreal Engine is too plasticky.
Yes.
Play Batman Arkham Asylum, play Batman Arkham City, play any game done with the Unreal Engine to date, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The level of detail is incredible. The stuff you can do, you can move, it's all great. But the bodies look like they just stepped out of a wax museum.
And that always happens. They always spend so much time focusing on the facial expressions and the head animations that the rest of the body, even with clothes, you can tell it's like high quality, high specs. I can see my reflection in this one. But then they go to the clothes and it's like we just jumped to 8-bit.
Well, no, not so much. No, I wouldn't go that far.
It's an exaggeration.
It's a glaring error. I mean, the biggest thing for me isn't even so much the clothing, although because you could play that off as, oh, hey, it's patent leather, fine. But the skin.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you've been hanging out with Joan Rivers' plastic surgeon, haven't you?
I was going to say, this is Ken and Barbie land, but,
Yeah, pretty much. So, Valve, in their engine, current generation, has better skin textures.
Yes.
They still don't look alive, which is a problem that any CG thing has, is making a character not look like a zombie. I think that's what gave Final Fantasy Spirits Within the biggest problem. So... that may be what made them go with Valve instead of Unreal. But the new Unreal's looking a lot better.
Unreal 4, yeah.
Unreal 4's got subsurface scattering.
It looks insane. But then again, that was also a tech demo, so we'll see that actual
I want to see it in
version
practice.
10-15 years down the road when they're in Unreal 5, But jumping back, so it's nice to see that they're going to use Steam as a distribution source, but to use Valve's Source Engine themselves for animation, we're back to machinima. And it's a feature-length machinima.
Okay.
The few of you who may not know what machinima is, basically someone who takes in-game engine and then utilizes that for their own video purposes, video production. They can create stories out of them.
If you've seen the South Park episode, Make Love Not Warcraft, all of these scenes, all of the in Warcraft game scenes, that's classified as machinima. If you've ever watched Red versus Blue, oh, come on, bring it up.
I'm just going to do a good part.
if you've ever watched any of the Red versus Blue, that's classified as machinima. So the possibilities there, I guess I'm kind of old school. I want to see it. I want to see how it looks before I really cast my judgment on it. I'm going to try and keep an open mind.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you a little example of machinima out there. And you can see we're trying to cue this up here. It's Red versus Blue. This is Caboose visits the Halo Reach campaign.
So funny.
Oh, it's great. And play.
So, I said yes every time. That's not... You didn't... He meant Noble Six, dumbass! Yeah, he did seem pretty confused, or maybe he was just confusing. I forget which one. Anyway, me and my new friends went on lots of adventures together.
Not gonna lie to you, Lieutenant. You're stepping into some shoes the rest of the squad would rather leave unfilled.
Is it because they stepped in gum? I do that all the time. Yeah, we saw stuff on fire, and some destroyed stuff, and some stuff that was burnt. But mostly stuff on fire that was destroyed. What?
Crevice to the east.
Crust is made with yeast.
Let's go.
Got it. And then we rode on a roller coaster that was super fun and went really, really high. Because it was a spaceship! Bleep. Sound effects.
Oh, Caboose. I am Michael J. Caboose, and I hate babies. Love that show. Oh, Red vs. Blue is awesome.
No, granted, I mean, the scenes where they were just standing around and talking, that's a good view of what machinima is. Red vs. Blue kind of starts blurring that line because they have a deal with Microsoft, and they actually brought a really amazing artist, Monty Ohm, on.
Oh, yeah.
Gave him custom, the custom models, and just went out and just had a freaking blast with it.
Well, anyone who doesn't know who Monty Ohm is, look him up. It's Monty, Montyoum is the last name. Look up Dead Fantasy. This is how I first got introduced to Monty Ohm. And I was lucky enough to work with him to get, we were able to premiere one of the episodes of it on at Axe a couple of years ago. And Monty's great. You could tell he's a John Woo fan.
Oh, yeah.
His stuff is very John Woo. Or is it John Woo or Joe Woo? No, Joe Woo. Joe Woo is somebody else. Sorry, it's John Woo. Anyway. John Woo. Birds fly. And hang on, we got an interruption. Yes, we're busy. Go away. Anyway. We're on show, derp. Pardon me, I've got to go kill somebody. I'll be right back.
I love roommates. Roommates, always fun. This is what happens when you have a live show, though, so it's fun. People in the chat are ads for Playboy. They have ads for Playboy body spray in the chat. I'm sorry. For those of you actually with their on.
This is what happens when you film in Jason's apartment and don't tell your roommates what's going on.
I knew it was going on. No, but people are in the chat. Apparently, Ustream, about every 10 minutes there's an ad. Next week, I'll see if I swap it over to Justin TV and see how that is.
Does Justin TV do ads?
Not as often.
Not as often. Oh, but they still do ads.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, it's our second show. We have no budget. As soon as we can afford it, we will get you a feed that does not.
Yeah, because those the pro levels for whatever site, Justin TV, Ustream, Livestream, screw Stickcam, but those ones, they cost like what, $60 to $100 a month or something like that.
Is it a month?
There's monthly and annual.
Oh, okay.
So
I know it costs money, and it's money we don't have yet. Sorry, guys.
Once we get really popular and maybe we'll do a Kickstarter.
Once the rules evolved. Oh man. So yeah. So moving on from that, the source thing sounds like it's got options. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Coming up, we should probably touch on at least.
Well, why don't you give a quick review? I think about you went to Cars Land, and I'm really envious of that.
Somebody already complained that it was brought to you by Disney. So. Okay. We'll talk about Cars Land here. Twist my arm. It was actually really cool. Thanks to my coworker Amy, who won passes for pass holders for a preview. Mm-hmm. Last Monday we went, and I took a whole ton of pictures.
There's a lot of good stuff out there.
And I posted a review of it on the OtakuLife website.
OtakuLife.net.
OtakuLife.